And hello and welcome everyone to yet another edition of the Daily 8 here on the News 8 Live. Des Filipinarski here, back with the top 8 stories that we're taking a look at here for you today. Hopefully everybody is having a great day so far and enjoying all of our Olympics coverage. I know I have, and I also want to thank Teresa Weekly for filling in for me yesterday. We do have a pretty busy show, and before we get into those top 8 stories, we do have some breaking news that we want to share with everyone. The Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office has confirmed a little bit ago that 4-year-old Alexander Fessenden has been found safe. He was reported missing earlier today, and we actually spoke with the Sheriff's Office Department a few minutes before they actually announced that Alexander was located and found safe, and you can find that full story right now on woodtv.com. And now we are set to get into our top 8 stories of the day, and we begin with an all too familiar story for us here in Michigan. Yes, the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has confirmed another bird flu outbreak at a dairy herd, this time in Van Buren County. This is the 27th outbreak in a Michigan dairy herd since late March. This is the first one in Van Buren County. However, the survival rate of infection is high among cattle, but the outbreak can pose a threat to dairy supplies and can spread to birds and even humans. 14 individuals, including 2 in Michigan, have contracted the virus since 2022. MDARD issued an order for farmers in the state to help curb the spread back in May, to help curb the spread of the flu, actually, and we have seen 3 outbreaks in cattle herds since then. And we have a double story for this next slot, as authorities in Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids are investigating separate shootings that left a total of 3 people injured overnight. In Kalamazoo, a 21-year-old man arrived at a hospital suffering from a gunshot wound. He told authorities he was shot while walking with a group of people on Edwin Avenue near East Main Street around 10 p.m. And in Grand Rapids, 2 men were injured in the shooting that took place at the intersection of MLK Jr. Street and Dallas Avenue just before 11 p.m. All of the victims in these shootings are expected to survive, and no suspects in either case have been identified or taken into custody at this time. And we head up north a bit for this next story, as the Traverse City Police Department says that construction crews may have found human remains while rebuilding a section of a road. The department released a statement Monday saying that construction workers with the Michigan Department of Transportation were redoing part of the road when they unearthed a few bones. They stopped work and contacted authorities immediately. It's not clear yet if these bones indeed belong to a human or not, as testing is still being done at this time. We do expect to get more updates as time goes on, but we did hear from the police in Traverse City earlier today, then said that they believe these bones to be from the pre-modern era, meaning that they could be from a time before forensic analysis was even available. And again, as we learn more, we will be bringing you all the latest on woodtv.com. Now let's take a bit of a break and get a look at your forecast from Storm Team 8 meteorologist Scott Larson.
Looks to stay warm and muggy as we travel through our day. We should expect to see high temperatures approaching 90 on Wednesday and Thursday. And we will have a few showers and storms out there today and tomorrow. Looks to be very isolated in coverage, and then we'll have some better chances as we get into the later portions of this week. That'll also come with a minor cool down as we get into this weekend and beyond. A partly cloudy sky over Grand Haven at this moment as we look outside along the lakeshore. Mostly sunny conditions in Grand Rapids. As we look through the afternoon, we should expect to see a mix of sun and clouds, temperatures advancing into those middle and upper 80s, but dew points are still going to be near 70 degrees, so you can tack on about 5 degrees to the feels-like temperature out there as we continue to track that potential for a stray storm. Here's a glance at high temperatures around the area this afternoon. 86 in Newaygo and Big Rapids, a high of 89 in Greenville, 86 in White Cloud, 82 toward Muskegon and Whitehall. Meanwhile, further south, a high temperature of 87 is expected in Grand Rapids, 85 in Hudsonville, 88 in Hastings, and 89 in Ionia, so pushing close to 90. And further south, a spread of mid to upper 80s, including 87 in Kalamazoo and 86 in Niles. It is going to stay very hot and humid through the next couple of days here, with those heat index values likely to peak in the middle to upper 90s, cooling off just a touch into the weekend and beyond, still feeling like 92 on Saturday afternoon. Of course, a good place to find some relief along the lakefront. And it looks like we will have temperatures there, water temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Again, daytime highs reaching up to about 80 degrees there, so a little bit cooler along the lakefront. Make sure to apply some sunscreen since we will have a high UV index. You can see that heat is really taking hold over the center of the United States. Heat advisories and excessive heat warnings, and there's some showers and storms that are running along the edge of that heat dome. As you can see that we do have some thunderstorms continuing to ignite through Iowa into Minnesota, also near Wisconsin. So continuing to track that, and it looks like later on this week that heat dome will expand, bringing us a better chance of seeing some showers and storms locally. Here's Futurecast now. Again, you can see very isolated, spotty activity in terms of any storms that happen today. Looks to be mostly sunny as we move through our Wednesday. Some storms likely to miss us to the southwest, and that'll blow in some cloud cover, but not really a whole lot to be concerned with there, as it looks like the greater chances for rain are going to lie in central and eastern parts of lower Michigan. So again, carrying just about a 20% chance of showers and storms today and tomorrow. That chance looks to rise as we approach the weekend, and that is going to come with some slightly cooler air. Now, the storms that are able to get going today, and again, they're going to be few and far between, but there is a marginal risk of severe weather given the ingredients available. We'll carry that chance over into tomorrow, and then again, even on Thursday. And on Thursday, we should expect to see a more widespread chance of storms. Here's a look at the 8-day forecast. You can see that temperatures are going to be cooling off a little bit through the extended period. 86 on Sunday, 84 on Monday, 85 for next Tuesday.
All right, thank you, Scott. And we have some good news to report. After being missing for more than 14 months, a Michigan dog has been found safely. This is Barley. He first went missing in May of 2023 near Tahquamenon Falls State Park. Barley was said to be very skittish and would avoid strangers if approached during that time, but thanks to a professional trapper, Barley was finally picked up and is now safe and sound. The Chippewa County Animal Shelter made the announcement on their Facebook page, and people are so happy to know that he's doing all right. And we head back to Grand Rapids now, more specifically Bridge Street, as the new Senguard has officially reopened for business. It's been 2 years since the restaurant welcomed customers in to try their farm-to-table new Nordic-style cuisine. It opened a new location less than a mile away from the original building. It's now in a much bigger spot with more accessible parking. The Senguard's owners say that the response from the community in just the short time that they have reopened has been overwhelming, and that they hope that people come in, stop by, and grab a bite to eat. And definitely something that people can also grab, especially for parents later on this week. It is down at DeVos Place, and it actually starts today. Our very own David Horak has more on the return of the shoes program.
You know there's a literal sea of shoes inside DeVos Place when you know that the annual shoes program is back. Shoes helping our elementary students. And it's by the nonprofit In the Image. 4,100 kids plus expected to receive a free pair of shoes, but there's more than just these that are being offered to their families today. They're going to talk about free vision screenings and local resources that families will connect with to make sure that their start to the school year is smooth. Only requirement is that the family lives in Kent County and that their student is enrolled in kindergarten through 5th grade, regardless if it's a public school, private school, or if they're being homeschooled. Since this began back in 1996, Shoes has given more than 100,000 pairs of these shoes to Grand Rapids area kids. And volunteers tell us their goal is to make sure that every child can play, learn, and grow with confidence from these shoes. Two ways you can help out is by donating money, which every $20 helps volunteers buy a pair of these shoes for the kiddos, and the other is by volunteering your time. And if you're planning to stop by to do so or take advantage of this, the entrance at DeVos Place you're going to be shooting for is the Grand Gallery entrance on Monroe Avenue. That is the direct entrance right across from that unique pedestrian crosswalk signal. It goes from today through Saturday. Each day is different. Times will be on this story at woodtv.com.
All right, thanks, David. And as a reminder to everybody that the shoes program at DeVos Place is going to be happening for a great period of this week, and we have the full schedule of when you can go there and possibly find a pair of shoes for your child right now simply by heading on over to our website, woodtv.com. And we're going to wrap things up today with something to keep an eye out for, not only tonight, but also into tomorrow morning. It looks like there might be just enough solar activity in the atmosphere recently where we here in West Michigan might be able to see the northern lights. The forecast for the aurora borealis appears to give us a chance of seeing them as far south as Saugatuck, and with clearer skies than expected later today, we might be able to get a glimpse of them. You might even have a chance on Wednesday, but your best bet is definitely tonight, as again, that clear skies above us will probably provide the best opportunity for us. So hopefully you do get the chance to check them out for yourself, maybe set an alarm just to make sure that you can snap snag a photo or two of them. And if you do, we'd love to see them. If you happen to get any photos of the Northern Lights later on this week, well, be sure to send them our way. You can do so by emailing them to weather@woodtv.com. And that is going to do it for us today. And it's perfect timing, too, as it looks like the women's gymnastic team finals are set to get underway in a matter of minutes. And remember, you can always find all the latest Olympic news and highlights on NBC and Peacock, but also over on woodtv.com. Sports director Jack Doles is in Paris right now, and he's been killing it with all of the content lately. So highly encourage you to go ahead and check that out. I want to thank everybody for tuning into this latest edition of the Daily 8 here on the News 8 Live Desk. I'm Phil Penarski, hoping that you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you again tomorrow.